In today's day of everything costing way too much and multi-gazillion dollar hot rod builds that everybody wants to see, I came across what my brother is building, which is the ultimate everyman's hot rod. You don't have to spend $1 million to have fun with hot rods, and this here's proof. Sounds like something that's interesting to you? Stick around. So I made a trip to Mexico yesterday to see my brother Juan and check out the sweet home-built hot rod that he made out of a garden variety old regular cab long box 88 Dakota. So what you got here is just a garden variety 88 Dakota 3.9 V6 904 automatic and like a 294 rear gear. It's kind of the truck that nobody really wants anymore. This one, like for the area that he got it, is a beautifully rust-free example, and that's the main reason he picked it up, and the fact that he picked it up for a freaking song. But anyway, it really is a great platform that he wants to use for a just a cheap, hopefully take it to the drag strip, tear around a little bit. As you can see in there, it's got a 360 LA with a hydraulic roller cam, 750 vacuum secondary Holly on it. He put a decent cam in it and whatnot for what it is. It's basically first starts for everything that he wants in a hot rod project, and it's honestly turning out really, really well. You look at the interior in this little truck is super clean. It's a toy, so it's like he replaced the radio with gauges, which turned out really well. See where he's got the tack in the middle of the dash there? Looks super awesome in my mind. Over to the right on the dash, there's the MSD 7AL box and a real nice spot where it's going to be open to be adjusted and messed with as needed. Actually looks really cool up there too. So we started out the day just messing around with that 750 vacuum secondary that's on there. It's seemingly a pretty decent carb. Everything seems to work pretty good. We did notice though that squirters were kind of dribbly and crummy the way they squirted out, and it did have a bit of a bog off the line from what I was told. So what we ended up doing is we put just a slightly bigger squirter in there, and another thing we found, we replaced the little gasket at the bottom of the squirter. And I think that made some amount of difference too. I think we got a better, straighter pump shot into the barrel rather than sort of dribbling out and running down the side of the booster like it was previously. So I'll just show you our run, one of the first runs we made with that vacuum secondary, and see what you think. Now the first go was interesting. It was a little bit, well, it was kind of a lot soft off the line, but we were able to mess with some things and pick that up for sure. Remember, this is the first time trying to sort out anything with this truck. It's got entirely the wrong gear. It's got entirely the wrong converter. But you know what? We're having a ball. We're spending the money that we can afford to spend. And I'll be honest with you, I have never had so much fun pissing around with hot rods than I did that afternoon with my brother and my nephew, and just screwing around, making changes, learning stuff, and seeing what worked. So anyway, that was our first pass. And what we ended up doing after that, just for shits and giggles, because I brought a 750 double pumper that I use on my car, and maybe it's because it's a double pump, or maybe I don't give a shit what it's because of, but it does seem to just hit hard. It's a good carburetor. It's well rounded. It was kind of somewhat set up for a similar situation to what we had in the Dakota, so we bolted it on. And I'll show you what we got with that deal. I'm not sure if you can see from the video or not, but I'll be honest with you, that thing, it seat of the pants feel, it hit, and it went a lot harder. It pushed you back in your seat far better, and it was really a real improvement off the line. It seemed nice and clean and whatnot all the way through, and we all, everybody that took it for a rip, we all felt that there was a real nice improvement. Now, I'm confident we'll be able to screw around with that 750 vacuum secondary and make it work real well too. But this was just something we did for fun, and we netted some really positive results out of it. So after an afternoon of fun, making way more runs down that little stretch of closed course pavement in front of my brother's house in Mexico, we had a ball. We learned a few things. We fixed a few things. We could have possibly wrecked a few things, but you know what? If you don't, you're not gonna know, and then you end up going to the track and you have a bad day at the track instead of a great day hanging out in the shop, figuring stuff out with your friends and family. So overall, we got some transmission work to do. The 1-2 shift, whether it's a manual shift or an automatic shift, it didn't want to do the thing like it's supposed to do. And we started piddling around with the kickdown cable adjustments. We never got to where we needed to get to, but you know what? It'll be there for another day. Had tons of fun. And between fuel pressure, we've got lots of different things that we still got to mess with. And for anybody that looks at it and saw, the wiring's all over the place and blah, 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 look, we're making it work. We're having fun. We're getting things done. Once we know everything's sorted out and we know that it is where it is and where it's going to stay, we'll get it all cleaned up. Also in the works is a 391 geared sure grip and an 8 3/4 housing to replace that 294 open 8 1/4 that's in the truck now. Actually surprised how well it pulls with that higher gear. But you know what? We've got the parts. It's just this stuff that I had laying around, he had laying around, the stuff we had. So we're crazy not to use it. And we gotta look at some point at a converter of some description. It's a little more difficult to find a converter because that's actually a lockup torque converter 904. But they're out there. There's things that we can do. We just gotta look around, figure what we want, where we want to get it, and go from there. But I think those two things are going to make a real nice difference to our program too. Couple things I got to say. If you have the ability, pull your inner fenders out. Man, does that ever make it a lot easier to work on a vehicle. I had no idea. A Dakota, an S10, any of those, Ford Ranger, that's a great platform to start off with if you think you want to get into screwing around with hot rods. And you know what? Pick your flavor. Chevy, Ford, Mopar, it don't matter. They're small. They're easy to work on. Chuck that hood off to the side until you're ready for it. And just go out and have some fun wrenching with your friends. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I really hope there's going to be a whole bunch more with this little brown Dakota. It's so much fun to play around with, and really enjoyed my afternoon. So thanks for watching. Oh, and if you like the sound that sweet thing makes out of those 3-foot long exhaust pipes, just stick around to the end of the video. I'm gonna just blam in a whole bunch of random clips that we shot during the day, and just tearing back and forth up the road, having fun. a big thanks to my brother, Juan Manuel Labor, for sharing his project with us and letting me do this video with his hardware.